Sa panahon ng mabilis na impormasyon at kaliwat kanang balita, kailangan mo ng isang channel na mapagkakatiwalaan, diretsyo at para sa bayan. Ito ang Balitang Pambansa, ang iyong bagong tahanan ng mainit na issue, tunay na impormasyon at mga balitang hindi mo dapat palampasin. Mula sa mga trending na kaganapan sa social media hanggang sa mga seryosong isyong pambansa. Bantay kami sa bawat sulok ng bansa para sa iyo. Hindi lang basta chismis, kundi validated news, mga impormasyon na may batayan at mga kwento ng tunay na buhay Pilipino. At kung gusto mong laging nauuna sa kaalaman, huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-share at higit sa lahat, mag-subscribe. Dahil sa Balitang Pambansa, balita mo, boses mo, bayan natin ito.
Tayo dito kay Boss Dada.
Tingnan mo nga naman ang buhay. Oh, di ba? Tingnan nyo.
Hmm.
From, hihilain ko yan. Kakalagkarin ko yan. To, huhukayin ko yan. O kakalkalin ko yung imbornal real quick. Yan ang karma. Kapag ka masamang tao ka.
Correct.
Kapag demonyo ka. Kapag satanas ka. Kapag wala kang Diyos. Paglalaruan ng tadhana ang iyong buhay.
Correct. Totoo yan.
Dati makapangyarihan, dati parang walang katapusan ang kayabangan. Ngayon, tagalinis na lang ng imbornal. Dating 5-star, 4-star general, ngayon
Star General.
general
Tagakalkal ng
manager
kanal.
na lang.
Tagakalkal ng kanal. Yan ang problema ko mga kababayan, di ba? From siga, from lahat kayang gawin. Ang babagsakan pala tagakalkal na lang ng kanal. Tagatanggal na lang ng basura sa estero. Wala, hindi ko sinasabing masama yan. Kung marangal yung trabaho na yan, para sa mga kababayan nating naglilinis yan, hindi ho, ika nga, napakalaki ng contribution nyo sa sambay ng pili. Hindi dahil binabanatan natin itong si Torre, dahil ginagawa niya yung trabaho na marangal ho yan. Kung wala kayo, baka lahat ng estero nagka-bara-bara na yung mga yan, di ba? Mga kanal-kanal, puno ng basura. Kaya taas ang respeto natin sa mga kababayan nating ginagawa yung mga bagay na walang gustong gumawa. Di ba? Walang gustong gumawa kasi ano ho nga naman, mahirap yan. Mabigat, may amoy, hindi naman ho natin maiiwasan yan. Kaya saludo ho tayo sa mga gumagawa niyan. Hindi ibig sabihin binabanatan natin si Torre, ika nga, minamata na natin yung profession na yan. Marangal ho yan. Ika nga, napakalaki ho ng ambag nyo sa ating bayan. Ang atin lang naman ho dito, etong si Torre galing sa pinakataas. Diba? Galing sa pinakataas. Ano lang naman, magpakatotoo lang tayo. Talagang yung, ika nga, marangal yung trabaho na yan, pero hindi siya ganon kataasan galing sa pinanggalingan itong story. Baka sabihin ng mga kababayan natin, minamata natin yung trabaho na yan. Marangal ho yan. Diba? Saludo ko sa mga gumagawa niyan. Pero itong si Torre, from general, from PNP chief, ngayon nagkakalkal ng basura. Walang masama dyan. Pero ang sinasabi ho natin dito, yung ego, yung yabang, yung ambisyon, di ba? Biglang lagap ako siya sa baba. Biglang lagap ako siya sa baba. Tama sinabi na tong si Boss Dada. Pagka masama ugali mo, ngayon nasa taas ka sigurado. Maya-maya makita mo na lang ang sarili mo, nasa baba ka na. Tanungin natin to si Nicolas Torre. Nung bang nasa nung chief PNP ka ba, sang-ayon ka na gawin mo yan? Gagawin mo kaya yung trabaho na yan? Hindi. Nung bang happy ka ng CIDG ba? CIDG? Gagawin mo yung mga bagay-bagay na yan? Hindi mo gagawin yan. Oh, ngayon ginagawa mo kasi wala ka ng choice. Kailangan yung presensya mo hindi maputol sa social media dahil nga meron kang balak maging senador. Brad, ang mapapayo ko sa'yo, pag natapos ang termino nitong bangag na presidente na to, magtago ka na sa saya ng lelang mo. Hindi ka masasalba ng pagiging senador pag naging presidente si VP Sara, yan ang tandaan mo. Hindi, walang makakapagsalba sa'yo. Dalawa lang bagay yan. I-redeem mo na yung American pasaporte mo O magtago ka na sa saya ng nanay mo pag naging presidente si BP Sara. Yung panggagong ginawa mo kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, baka akala mo nakakalimutan na namin yung nangyaka.
Kawawa ka naman. Karma really is a bitch. Deserve mo yan.
That's sir. Palakpakan natin si Boss Dada. Isa sa mga banateros, isa sa mga malupit bumalagbag sa social media. Dito tayo kay Attorney Ruen Aguanson.
Mga kababayan, bantayan nyo ito si Martin. Magnanakaw ito.
Magnanakaw.
Bakit ngayon bumalik si Martin Luther King Romualdez? At nagsasamba na naman sina Loistro et al. Andyan na ang kanilang puon ng flood control kickbox. Bakit ngayon siya bumalik? Kasi impeachment na naman. Talagang hindi pa hinto itong ambisyon ni Martin Romualdez na siya ang magiging sunod na presidente kay BBM. Mga kababayan, bantayan nyo ito si Martin. Magnanakaw ito.
Ang lutong no? Bantayan. Bantayan nyo to si Martin Magnanakaw. Oy, Martin Romualdez, di ka pa basuko sa mga kalokohan mo? Anak ng towa. Mga ordinaryong Pilipino, ganyan ang ganyan ang sinasabi nila sa mundo ng social media. Si Martin Romualdez, magnanakaw yan. Walang kwentang tao yan, di ba? Kaya kung ako sa iyo, Martin Romualdez, mo na, tanggapin mo na ang katotohanan na hindi ka susunod sa yapak ng pinsan mong bangag. Enjoy nyo na yung mga nakulimbat nyo, yung mga ninakaw nyo sa sambayan ng Pilipino, enjoy nyo na yan. Di ba? Enjoy nyo na yan habang nasa laya pa kayo. Dahil pagka naging presidente na si VP Sara, anak ng towa, kukunin, kailangan yung ibalik yan. Pero nasambayan ng Pilipino yung inatid sa'yo di umano ni Zaldico, kailangan mo ibalik yan. Di ba? Hindi sa inyo yan. Yung mali-maletang di umanong hinahatid sa Forbes Park nitong si Zaldico, ibalik nyo yan. Di ba? Kung hindi nyo kayang ibalik sa pera nyo, yung mga ari-arian nyo sa Espanya, sa yung mga mansyon nyo sa Amerika, ibenta natin yan. Kailangan nyong bayaran yung utang nyo sa sambayanan. Anak ng toka, mga walang yaka, mga magnanakaw kayo.
Inhibit nga si Sando as majority leader. Balik naman si Martin. Ano ba, BBM? BBM gang, talagang ginagago nyo kami. Ha? Ginagago niya na talaga kami. Dapat si Sandro mag-resign as majority leader. Kasi kung talagang gusto niyang maging mukha siyang fair, edi mag-resign siya. At lalo na yan si Congresswoman Luistro na nagsasamba kay Martin Luther King Romualdez, dapat mag-resign din siya as chair of the Justice Committee para ma-assure naman tayo mga Pilipino na this impeachment is going to be fair. Fair to the people, fair to the respondent, Vice President. Total, na-dismiss na naman nila yung kay BBM di ba? Syempre, dinismiss nila. Ano pa nga ba? Hindi naman tayo tanga, di ba? Mga kababayan, ginagago tayo nito ng BBM gang at ni Martin Romualdez. Kaya, sige lang. Laban lang tayo.
Laban lang.
Hanggang 2028 pa ito.
Ang tanong dyan, Attorney Ruen Aguanson, gaano ka kasigurado hanggang 2028 pa yan? Diba? Yung mga kasukasuhan nitong si Marcos Jr. sa tingin natin gusto pa ng puso't isip niya pero yung katawan niya bumibigay na. Diba? Gusto pa ng puso't isip, kaluluwa pero yung bituka niya nabubulok na. Paano ba yan? Kahit ano pang kagustuhan ng isipan, kung ayaw na ng laman, wala na yan. Ika nga, kahit na anong sarap pa ng pagkain, pagkabusog ka na, di ka na makakakain. Parang ganyan lang ho yan. Kahit gustong-gusto pa ni Marcos Jr. na magsilbi, kung nabubulok ng mga kalamnan yan, wala na ho tayong magagawa dyan. Diverticulitis, di ba? Yung mga small packets ng doon pumapasok yung jebs mo, anak ng tokwa. Kaya pala masakit ho yun. Ayun, delikado pa yan, pwede mong ikasawi yan. At dahil dyan, palakpakan ho natin itong si Attorney Ruen Aguanson at itong si Boss Dada. Re-recta po tayo dito kay Baculaw, Jinky Luistro, dyan sa On Point. Game.
House Justice Committee approved the committee report, junking the two impeachment complaints as insufficient in substance. Of course, we're referring to the De Jesus
Alam naman nun natin na bias siya ang Billionaire News Channel, pero dahil lang nag-i-interview si Pinky Web, kahit pa paano magpapalipad ng maanghang na banat yan dito kay Bakulaw.
And Masa et al. Complaints. Congresswoman, does this already constitute a formal dismissal of the complaints?
The formal dismissal is actually incorporated in the resolution accompanying the committee report, no? So, ang sinasabi ng committee report is our findings that both complaints are insufficient in substance, okay? And because of this, we came up with a resolution dismissing actually the 2 impeachment complaints, no? Nevertheless, this committee report with its accompanying resolution are still subject or is still subject to the approval/disapproval of the plenary. And that can be done by at least 1/3 votes of all the members of the House of Representatives.
Congresswoman, kailan po ito dadalhin sa plenaryo?
Well, actually, we have transmitted already to the Committee on Rules the committee report along with the resolution, no? Transmitted na siya today. As to when the same will be included in the order of business of the plenary, it all depends on the Committee on Rules. But we should be ready because anytime it may be included in the order of business.
I remember, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that really you had about 60 days under the rules or the Constitution to come up with a report. And certainly after what, was it 4 days of hearings? The last being Wednesday or Thursday, pasensya na po, ay nagkaroon na po kayo ng committee report. What I'm trying to say is, medyo mabilis po ito.
Well, it's because the entire process was not actually done in view of the prior determination of insufficiency in substance. Maalala mo, Pinky, I've been discussing it in our previous interviews, no? In different media, no? Dapat makalusot sa standard ng sufficiency in form at dapat makalusot sa standard ng sufficiency in substance for us to be able to move forward to step 3, 4, and 5. But what happened in the impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos Jr., pasado siya sa form, that is our step 1, however, bumagsak siya sa sufficiency in substance. So, in effect, na-abrogate yung succeeding steps which are supposed to be part of our entire process before the Justice Committee, no? You are correct about the 60 session days. The Justice Committee is actually given under the rules a period of 60 session days to be able to conclude the deliberation, to determine the existence of probable cause, and to submit our committee report to the plenary. But then again, because bumagsak na sa test ng sufficiency in substance, we need not proceed to step 3, to step 4, and even to step 5. That's what happened, Pinky.
Congresswoman, there were appeals, last-minute appeals. Of course, there were some members of the House Justice Committee unhappy with the insufficiency in substance, especially of the Lisa et al. Impeachment complaint. It was Congressman Tino, I believe, and also Congressman Edgar Erice, who had issued some last-minute appeals. Basically, Congressman Tino was saying that it was an incomplete discussion of what was being called the BBM parametrics, which form part of their impeachment complaint. Sabi nila, yun po ang naging daan ng substandard at mga ghost projects. Also, Congressman Erice basically saying that the Masa complaint also included an allegation supposedly from former Undersecretary Bernardo about an 8 billion peso supposed kickback for the president. Yun pong dalawang yon, what was the response to that, to those last-minute statements?
Well, Pinky, it is actually not expected that all the details will be included in the committee report, no? The committee report is supposed to reflect only the summary of what happened during the deliberation. As a matter of fact, nag-comment pa nga si Congressman Rodriguez, Chairman Rufus Rodriguez, that even the fact that the video of then Congressman Saldico, that the same was not authenticated, was not likewise included in the committee report. But nonetheless, in view of the fact that it is a committee report which is not supposed to include every detail of what happened in the deliberation, he is not questioning the sufficiency of the committee report, no? So, on that light, Pinky, no, we allowed the members, specifically Honorable Tino and Honorable Erice and even Honorable Co, to make their corresponding manifestations to that effect. But nevertheless, those concerns which were raised have been fully ventilated during the deliberation on the sufficiency in substance. And if the point really is they want it to be incorporated in the committee report, well, it is the Justice Committee is reminded again that by practice, we do not incorporate every detail in the committee report. What is important, the impeachment complaint, which is supposed to include every and all arguments of the endorsers, form part of the records of our proceedings, no? So on that ground, Pinky, we proceeded to the voting of the motion for the approval of the committee report along with its accompanying resolution.
Okay. And I think the vote was 39, 4, and 0. 39 in
That
favor,
is correct.
4 against, and 0 abstentions. Just very quickly, just want to talk about the grounds for the impeachment: betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution. Meron pong yung unang complaint also allowing the kidnapping and the surrender of FPRRD to The Hague, and of course that issue on being a drug user or alleged drug addict. And then, as I mentioned a while ago, which was quite new to a lot of people, yung tinatawag na baseline balance managed, yung BBM parametrics formula, na gaya nung sinabi ko kanina, Congresswoman, basically allowed these ghost, substandard, and overpriced flood management projects. With regards to that, I have a few questions on that. Yung statements, Huba, excuse me, ma'am, of Yusek Bernardo, alleging that the Office of the Executive Secretary asking for insertions, yung pong supposed kickbacks given to Yusek, Trigib Olaivar, supposed kickbacks, and also Yusek or ASEC Bersamin. How did that come into play in terms of not finding it sufficient in substance?
Well, first and foremost, Pinky, we have to be reminded about the requirement of personal knowledge and or sufficient record, no? Ang ating complainant kay De Jesus, that is Attorney Andre De Jesus, apparently is not part of any of those incidents alleged in his impeachment complaint. So therefore, according to the members, personal knowledge cannot be claimed, no? With respect to the authentic records, it appears that most of the attachments, not only in the De Jesus complaint, but even in the Masa et al. Complaint, are clippings of news, videos, and transcripts which are not certified or authenticated. So, at least on this first ground, that the allegations of facts should be based on personal knowledge and or authentic records, nag-fail na kaagad itong dalawang impeachment complaints. Secondly, no, meron tayong tinatawag diyang ultimate facts instead of conclusion of facts. Dapat ang allegations sa complaint should be essential to constitute an offense which will further constitute a ground for impeachment. The parameter, Pinky, is it should be able to answer the questions what, when, where, how. Okay? So, on the basis of the allegations in both complaints, according to the members again, the allegations do not constitute ultimate facts or essential facts. Instead, it only jumps into conclusion of facts, which is not allowed in the impeachment complaint. No?
And then, sorry, ma'am, I need to interrupt you there because I heard that a lot during the hearing, and it was also a question for me. because one can also think that there was a difference. These words were being used all the time, yung that is a legal conclusion and that is not a factual allegation. Yun po yung mga sinasabi, which is exactly what you're talking about right now. And then there's also that school of thought that ito po ay mga alegasyon, kaya pag pumunta tayo sa paglilitis, ay doon lalabas ang mga factual allegations. But please explain to us, what is the difference and what constitutes a legal conclusion versus a factual allegation?
When we speak about factual allegation, Pinky, it should provide the specific details on how an offense was actually committed. As I have said earlier, it should be able to answer the questions like what,
Who, what, when, where, how.
where, how.
Okay.
So you will recall some of the members were asking, what is the specific offense that was committed by the impeachable official? When was this committed? Where was this committed? What was the circumstances surrounding that incident when the impeachable official committed?
Sana yung mga pamantayan na yan gamitin din natin sa impeachment ni VP Sara, ha? Ha? Bakulaw.
Actually this offense. So pag sinabi natin, pinking ultimate facts, it means essential to be able to constitute the offense as distinguished from conclusion, which means you just made a bare allegation that the impeachable official is guilty of graft and corruption without necessarily providing the specifics of the incidents which are being alleged.
I see. All right. And then there were also a lot of talks on ano ho ba, paano nyo nakuha ito, yung inyong mga ebidensya, not you, during the hearing. This constitutes, I'm sorry ma'am, I have a bit of a cough. News clippings, yun po, another phrase that was used, versus authentic records. Also,
Yes.
Congresswoman, I know what news clippings are, but my question is, are news clippings going to be allowed, or can they serve as evidence to substantiate a ground for an impeachable offense?
Well, it is my humble submission that news clippings will not suffice the standard of authentic records, no? Kapag sinabi kasi nating authentic records yan, it should be certified by the person who actually prepared the document, okay? So, like for example, you were mentioning kanina about the affidavit or the statement of Yusek Bernardo of DPWH, no? The transcript of the Senate, if it is not certified, will not pass the standard of authenticity, all right? But if it is certified, it can only prove the fact that it is part of the records of the Senate. But as to whether or not that is indeed a testimony of Yusek Bernardo should be the one to authenticate the same.
I
Or
see.
at least come up with his own affidavit to prove that this is my testimony, I am the one executing this, and I swear to the truthfulness of the facts of those contained in this affidavit.
To clarify before we go on a break, so any transcript, official transcripts coming from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, for example, regarding focusing on the allegations of former DPWH Undersecretary Bernardo will not suffice unless it is what? Certified by the Senate?
That
legal
is
team?
correct.
Opo.
That is
Or
correct.
the man himself, the individual himself.
That is correct. Although you have to distinguish, if the transcript of records is certified by the Senate, then it is a proof that the transcript is part of the records of the Senate. Okay? But if the affidavit itself is authenticated or sworn in by Yusek Bernardo, then it becomes a proof of the testimony of Yusek Bernardo.
All right, we need to take a very short break. We'll continue our... Come back still with us, House Committee on Justice Chair, Batangas Representative Chervil Luistro. You know, Congresswoman, there's so much still to talk about regarding the impeachment complaint against the President, because I believe that once you tackle the impeachment cases against the Vice President, the former hearings will serve as a template for how you will be discussing the Vice President's impeachment complaints. So let's go to that. So far, there have been 3 impeachment complaints filed against the Vice President. There were 2 supposedly already sent to the office of the Speaker. I believe it was Thursday last week. Congresswoman, the 2 impeachment complaints, could these be violative of the 1-year bar rule?
Well, let us be reminded, Pinky, wala pang initiation na nangyayari, no? Walang nagbago po sa Francisco ruling in spite of the decision of the Supreme Court and the recent resolution of the Honorable Supreme Court. As of today, wala pa pong nare-refer sa Justice Committee. So, in fact, hindi pa po nag-trigger yung 1-year prohibition period.
I'm asking that because when I had also the complainants here, at least one complainant, Kiko Aquino D., that was already being talked about. We know that during the July 2025 ruling of the Supreme Court, they said that basically the earliest date one can file an impeachment complaint against the Vice President was going to be February 6. But after the motion for reconsideration decision of the Supreme Court, there were some legal luminaries, lawyers who said, parang nag-iba ata yung trigger ng 1-year bar rule. Because basically, in the motion for reconsideration, the Supreme Court was saying, nag-umpisa na trigger yung 1-year bar rule when it was not put in the order of business, the December 2 impeachment complaint. Tapos nagbilang po sila. So naging January 15. That's why I'm asking you, the 2 impeachment complaints were filed before February 6. Is that going to be a violation of what the Supreme Court had earlier stated as July 6 in their July 2025 ruling?
You are very much correct about the seemingly confusing, decision of the Supreme Court dated July 25, 2025, vis-a-vis the resolution of the Supreme Court issued on January 28 of 2026, However, we have to take consideration of the fact na doon sa July 25, 2025, it was explicit. The Supreme Court indeed pronounced February 6 pwede mag-file ng second impeachment, What is observable in the recent resolution of the Supreme Court, the January 28, 2026 resolution of the Supreme Court, they discussed that when the complaint was not acted upon by the House of Representatives and the period of 10 session days lapsed, it is considered deemed initiated. Hanggang dun lang,
Yeah.
It went to the extent of saying na January 14 nag-lapse, but it didn't went to the extent of saying that January 15 they are allowed to file because it lapsed already. So what I wanted to point out, Pinky, is while in the July 2025 decision, it is explicit na February 6 pwede mag-file. Dito sa January 28, 2026 resolution, it was merely by implication, Nevertheless, I acknowledge that it creates confusion. Whether when really the 1-year prohibition period lapsed already. Whether it is February 5, so that February 6, 2026, the second impeachment is allowed? Or did it lapse January 14,
Yeah.
so that January 15, the second impeachment is allowed already? This is a matter which will be deliberated upon as well by the Justice Committee. I really hope that prior to the time of our deliberation, we will be able to find ways to seek clarification. But the problem is, in the recent resolution of the Supreme Court, sinabi nila, final, executory, no appeal, no petition, no MR. So,
But isn't it also true that you wanted to seek clarification regarding the session days or / calendar days? I read that maybe last week, but I have no update if you actually already sought clarification regarding the session days issue.
I was actually inquiring, Pinky, with the legal of the House Representatives how it can be possible for us to seek clarification on two matters. One is the definition of session day, and second, the lapse of the one-year prohibition period. No? But considering the pronouncement of the Supreme Court in the recent resolution that the same is final and executory, no? To this date, they haven't given me any recommendation on how we can legally seek this clarification on these 2 points, no? Nevertheless, we are still looking forward na sana merong avenue for us to be clarified on this.
It's almost like you're a little bit put in a bind, like someone like me, obviously, who's not a non-lawyer. I had to talk